We are seeing AI not only being used as a tool, but also AI being considered as a teammate.
We're not just training models, we're building AI that help businesses move forward. When we talk about being ready for what is coming, it generally means different for each of us. So what does it mean for you?
So net, it's about constantly unlearning and relearning.
I mean, yes, machines can tell us what's happening, but it is the humans that give it a purpose.
The tech handles the grunt work, but humans still set the direction.
But we must remember that our most important tool isn't programming language, rather, it is our mindset.
If you remember one thing, AI isn't about replacing people. It's about bringing the best out of us.
Fun fact for the day. Us humans generate more data that ever existed in human history up until 2003. But 97% of that data just sits there. I mean, imagine having a rocket fuel enough for Mars, but not having a flight plan. That's what most businesses are doing. Here, we don't just fill the tank, we chart the course. AI might fire the engines, but it is us humans who plot the stars.
And that's really the secret.
All right, Abhishek, let's flip the script a bit. What's that one thing about your job that would really surprise people?
Well, people think that I just build cool AI models, but surprise, half of my job is actually to convince CXOs that data and AI aren't just the magic pixie dusts. And I lead an army of AI agents as part of our Bodhi agentic AI platform.
What was that light bulb moment for you? The moment where you were like, yes, this is it. This is my path.
Well, it was never one single moment, but if I have to pick one, right out of the college, I was given this task where I had to identify if there is this equipment, very costly, very important, is going to fail. So what I did was I tried to codify this entire AI model, but also talked to a human expert because I didn't had much experience in that particular domain back then. And then we fed in the data, we had this model, and it generated a prediction that this particular equipment is going to fail. There is a high severity score. And when it was checked on site, it was actually the case. And that moment, kind of a moment of epiphany for me when I realized that this AI can not only just save an equipment, in this case, which could be very costly if the things would not have been taken care of, but also how it would have disrupted the lives of many who would get affected.
Yeah, that's really inspiring. For me, the first real win wasn't when my model had great accuracy. Rather, it was the thinking and the spark that went behind it. This also made me, sort of realize the importance of human intelligence in this field. Was there one point where you were like, okay, this will change how I need to build AI and, it should be more people-centered?
Yeah. So one of the biggest turning point for me when I started looking at not only just these powerful AI models, but also how the users of these systems are actually experiencing them. So early in my career, I used to also focus, by the way, on the benchmark numbers and the accuracy numbers. So this was for one of the large automotive client, and we were working, and we built pretty smart model. We realized that it was technically flawless. From our point of view, it was pretty perfect. But then we didn't had that much of user adoption. And that disconnect kind of hit me hard. And so I thought, okay, why that is happening? And then I realized that the actual return on investment of these AI systems can only happen if these things are more usable, more intuitive, but also geared towards a human purpose.
So Abhishek, your role looks like a mix of deep tech and boardroom meetings. So, what would be a week in your life, these days with AI? What does it look like?
Well, honestly, every week is a soul. Yes, it has lot of deep technical conversation, doing lot of model reviews, building a lot of GenAI systems, but it's also about working with our clients, helping them to understand what problems are there that the data can solve for them. But here is the thing, this entire field has also shifted. It has gone from training an AI models to training intelligent agents, things that can reason and adapt. So that's a big change that we are seeing. But also we are seeing AI not only being used as a tool, but also AI being considered as a teammate. And that's where the responsible AI part also kicks in. Because if you have these systems which you can trust, you can scale more. And we here at PS, we don't just build models and hand them off to our clients. We also help our clients in terms of understanding where AI fits into their broader ecosystem, how it helps them to solve the key business problems. And in fact, we are trying to embed all of these learnings that we are getting into our own AI product offerings, be it Bodhi, Slingshot, and Sustain AI.
With every transformative product, it starts with this sharp discomfort in the beginning and the status quo. So, what was that moment like for the team behind Bodhi? What was your insight? More like, what did you see in the world that led to Bodhi?
The origin of Bodhi was predominantly to tackle one of the bigger challenge that not only our clients but also the industry was facing. So while we see AI has a lot of potential, at the same time, a majority of the organizations, they struggle to realize the value from their investment. There are a lot of reports which are out there which talks about a large percentage of their AI initiative. The projects, they don't even go to production. That means that they are not able to get the return on the investment that they are making. So what we tried to do was, is as we were helping many of other clients into their own AI journey, we brought in all of those learnings and best practices and baked into a reusable solution offering, which is what we called Bodhi. That was the origin. So earlier, it was around an AI platform. We built different predictive and prescriptive capabilities around that. But then the platform is also evolving, given the technology is changing pretty rapidly, almost at an exponential rate. So we had this entire GenAI movement, the world of language models came in. So we brought in those functionalities and features and capabilities to Bodhi. And then with agents coming in, we have evolved Bodhi to be the Bodhi agentic AI platform, the way we see right now. Now, what we're trying to do differently is we are not only building agents for the sake of building agents, but also ensuring that these agents can work at the enterprise scale in which our clients expect, but also ensuring that these agents can work in a responsible fashion. And we are trying to do it in different ways. Obviously, these responsible AI practices are baked in at the algorithm level, but also at the data level. We are creating what we call as an enterprise context graph, which is how do we bring and stitch the data signals coming out from our client's ecosystem, their customer, and all of the related data, and using that to provide the right context to these agents that are really good at doing reasoning and adapting, but it's also important is we are feeding the right data in. So that's one big thing that we are also doing. The second big thing that we are doing as part of a Bodhi ecosystem is supercharging these agents with not only the capability which LLMs have to offer, but also bringing the capabilities around the predictive models and the prescriptive models. So once we combine all of these recipes together, we see a lot of our clients are able to take their business problem and bring in the power of AI and agentic AI to the mix to solve it and generate the outcome that they have always desired.
So, one of my favorite things that I find here is open voice. And, we are really, really encouraged to try, fail, try again, and actually learn. So, Abhishek, why don't you share with us an instance where, a wild idea probably made a breakthrough and really paid off?
I can share a recent story. So this was for one of our client, and they had a challenge that they were really grappling with for a while, and they asked PS to come up with a quick and innovative solution. So what we did was we quickly assembled the Avengers or SWAT team, and we brought in folks from our speed capabilities, which is strategy, product, engineering, experience, and data and AI. And we were debating how we can come up with a solution. We were in a room, and we were all were focusing on the core internals of that solution. While here was the guy, an associate, raised his hand hesitantly. And so once we probed, so he said, I have an idea. And he literally scribbled that on the whiteboard. And everybody loved that idea. We all rallied behind that idea and converted that idea into reality in just a matter of days. And once we presented that solution to our client were literally bamboozled. So if you look at open voice, that's where the innovation lives. And in absence of that, everything would be just the version 1. That's it.
When we talk about being ready for what is coming, it generally means different for each of us. So, what does it mean for you? And what does it mean for someone who works in this industry where AI is constantly changing everything?
Yeah, so for me personally, it's about staying curious and designing system not only for the present, but also for future. And honestly speaking, everything is changing and changing really, really, really fast. Just a case in point for one of our CPG client, for one of the problem statement that they had, we had the solution approach identified, we tested, even though that particular approach was a bit complex, primarily because of the technology limitation at that point in time. But what we did was we ensured that the system was designed in such a fashion that it had that abstraction that allowed us to change or swap the different layers whenever things will change. And what happened a few weeks in, the new AI breakthrough came in, and we were able to leverage that abstraction to swap the previous version of the solution with a newer version of the solution, and that resulted into faster as well as better outcomes.
We need to constantly skill up and level up with the technology.
Exactly. Patterns are great, but meaning is everything. And that's where humans step in, looking beyond the predictions into the reasons. So machines spot patterns while human bring empathy and intent, and together we go further.
Yes, machines can tell us what's happening, but it is the humans that give it a purpose. AI is at its superstar era, but underneath all that hype, the real magic lies in the fact that humans and machines are finally learning together. What is it one shift that you're really excited about?
Honestly, it's about agentic AI and how the modern ML ops, then LLM ops, and now agent ops is changing the way we think about the work. So we have gone from the models that we have hoped for it to behave in a certain fashion to the pipelines that would self-heal, adapt, or even learn in real time. Tech handles the grunt work, but humans still set the direction. So one of the rule for anybody who is starting out is don't jump into solutions. Start with the questions. What problem that we are trying to solve? What data signals that you have? At the end of the day, clarity beats cleverness.
Absolutely. So systems do grind through numbers, but it is ultimately us who decide why and what for. If I could really give one piece of advice to all the newcomers in this domain, I would say that resist the urge to open your ID first. I mean, essentially just step back, stay curious, ask questions. But we must remember that our most important tool isn't programming language, rather, it is our mindset.
Yeah, and that curiosity that you mentioned, talking to people, understanding how they think, is the most important ingredient that would make us better at building systems that would work with us instead of us.
Time for a speed round. Abhishek, short answers only. No 10-minute tangents. Principle you never compromise on in a model.
Transparency, people have to understand it to trust it.
Awesome. Most underrated skill for a data scientist.
Asking the right questions before jumping into the code.
A data set that taught you about people.
Loyalty data, because numbers can show trust, habits, and sometimes even feelings.
Hot AI trends that you like.
Obviously, agentic AI, because AI can act, reason, and plan.
Trend that worries you the most.
Well, automating everything just because we can doesn't mean we should.
Truly said. Book or resource every data science aspirant should read.
The 100-page book on machine learning by Andrew Burkhoff.
Describe data science in one word.
That's easy. Discovery.
One line advice for newcomers.
Don't chase models, chase the meaning.
Super. Viewers, frame that one.
If you remember one thing, AI isn't about replacing people. It's about bringing the best out of us. The real innovation happens when people and technology learns together.
Absolutely. I feel models and algorithms only matter if we ask, does this actually help? That is the key difference between working tech and impactful tech.
Well, if you are endlessly curious, pattern finding, question answering type, you will fit right in. Come build with us and help shape AI that is responsible and truly human centered.
And if you're on the business side wanting to go from insight to impact with AI, reach out. Let's turn all that potential into progress.
Because the best way to use the data isn't about just predicting the future, rather, is to create it.